Radio check 1 2.
Check one, check one.
To the Season 70 SMJHL entry draft. I am Val, and I am joined by
HFFO.
And
And,
Bailey on the back end. I'll be doing the draft sheet again. So
Corey's kind of here. I'm doing all the streaming, so I'll be talking every once in a while. And if something goes wrong, blame me. Have fun.
It's Patty's
right.
fault, let's be honest.
always Patty's fault. But we are on to the Season 70 J entry draft. A lot of new players, new gens, recreates, and this is the first step into the SHL. And the first pick is owned by the Vancouver Whalers, a team that went 24, 39, and 3 last season, according to my numbers, but hit the lottery, which, good for them. This is a
you can't
team.
win the lottery if you don't play, right? And they had
Yeah.
to miss the playoffs to play.
Yeah, but this is a team that I feel like has been mired in a bit of a rut. Like, they're still producing players, but like in my time on the site, I don't really. Maybe this is again because I'm newer. This is a team that's kind of struggled a little bit, but they hope to change things up. And do we have a pick in for this first pick? I do believe that we do. Are the graphics ready, I assume?
Let's go with give me a second.
All right, cool.
Yeah, unlike the SHL draft, you'll see a lot of teams still actually retain their first round pick.
Yeah.
I don't believe the board is set up to each specific team, with every team having a pick right now, right? Regardless, there are teams with multiple picks in each round that they've traded for, but it's a little different than the SHL. It's not everyone is going full throttle in one direction or the other. There's a bit of some middle ground on some teams here. So
Yeah, and of course the Jays also notoriously cyclical, as junior leagues tend to be, because of the short time frame. You only get 4, especially now with the 4 seasons, because it used to be 5.
yeah, if you look at like some of the records of players, you'll see there's certain players that have put up phenomenal point totals in only 4 seasons, but sometimes you'll see like 5-season players still in there. And back in, I think it's before the swap to FHM, we actually had players who played like 8-9 seasons in the SMJHL, just like inactive SMJHL free agents, putting up just a ridiculously long career at the A cap. And yeah, there's been a lot of changes in the J, but some interesting changes happen to the J. The J's got a lot of variety to it.
Yep. We do have a pick in. Are we still waiting on graphics?
Perhaps. I'm sorry, I'm still setting things up. I think I have it going now, though. We can just roll and see what happens.
All right. With the first pick in the Season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the Vancouver Whalers select Bob, we had a baby, it's a boy. Username Infidel. This is a recreate. Infidel's been around the league a while. Last player was stand-in desk. Strengths, he is a physical boy. 12 checking, 12 hitting. Weaknesses in, I believe that's screening, not screaming.
Screaming!
And face-offs.
Maybe you probably would have a strength in screaming. But another fun fact about Infidel going first overall is this is the third consecutive he has gone first overall in. He went on his first player, he went first overall in the J draft. Then in the SHL J draft with Stan and Dask, he also went first overall. And now he's pulled off the trifecta 3 times in a row.
Yep. And a guy who's been around the league for ages, a guy I know somewhat well because we were on Toronto together with his last player. So this is a pick that Vancouver will be very happy with. Left-handed defender. So not the type of defender that you would expect to put up a lot of points, but will get like hits and hopefully munch minutes for them going forward. As we go to these...
defense is also just a position of need in the SMJHL. Not a lot of people make defensemen compared to forwards because apparently people like goals or something, which is weird.
Imagine not liking goals from defense.
Fantastic user with a great track record. Can't go wrong.
Imagine not wanting points from the defense because this is in this room has the two best offensive seasons in the J were HFFO's last player and my player in terms of single season. And I think it was the same season too.
Did we top? Yes. Was that season 66?
5, I think.
Okay.
It was the last one. Whichever season was the last before we moved to 8. But anyway,
was all right, but he was no Rand Althor.
Yeah, but Randall Thor is on his way out as we go to pick number 2, which is the Colorado Raptors. 28, 35, and 3 last season, according to what I have. We'll see what they might be looking for.
Yeah, Ruggsy runs this team. He's a great guy, really friendly. He likes Jurassic Park a little too much, I guess. With the Raptors logo, but curious to see what he's going to do here.
All right, and I do believe we have a pick in for them.
You're going to have to give me 1 second. I need to change over the graphics.
All good.
I'm learning this on the fly.
Yeah, we are in we ball territory here. We'll do it live.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. There's things that are going on, guys. There's things.
It's all good.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm really behind. It's gonna take me a second to do this.
Just like you're all learning the site, we're learning how the hell Jert does this every day.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll get it eventually. It's just gonna take me a second.
Yeah, just getting into the rhythm of things. Kind of like a first gen player, just learning the site because I was that annoying newbie that was asking questions every 5 seconds. But once I got into a rhythm,
I think we're good. We'll see what happens when I do it.
All right, we ball. With the second pick in the season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the Colorado Raptors select Oliver Castillon, center, Blitz. Is the user recreate, strengths and balance and getting open, weaknesses in screening and shooting range. So I guess kind of the center that like just positionally knows where he needs to be for a scoring chance. But Blitz, we know him well. Simmer, been around the league for a while. Very, very good guy.
Yeah, Blitz is a super friendly guy. He's patient enough to deal with my technologically incompetent self learning how to sim. So that's that you got to give credit to that there. But they're getting a great players. Very clearly going to max earn in the J, and hopefully be around those 4 seasons to build around. And you probably guessed that one of the heads of simming knows where to put their stats to make a pretty good build with their points.
Yep. So that is a pick the Raptors will be very happy with. At pick number 2. As we move on to pick number 3, which is owned by the St. Louis Scarecrows. Last season 13-50-3, and I believe they just decided midseason we need to rebuild and kind of nuked things, which that's not an easy choice to do in the J, but you got if you need to rebuild, might as well.
I mean, yeah, the Scarecrows, they've been around in the J for like, I guess like 30 something seasons now. I can't recall if they've ever actually won a 4-star cup. They probably have.
They've won a few, I think.
Okay. Well, they're one of the more unique teams stylistically. Not many people would have like a actually scary scarecrow as their logo. Like most teams are some kind of an animal or a fearsome Viking or something. But no, they just really hate birds. And since there's a lot of bird teams in the SMJHL, kind of works.
Yeah, St. Louis is more like nerd teams, am I right? Birds aren't even real. But we'll see what Sparky and the Brain Trust in St. Louis has on their menu today. And I do believe the pick is in if we're ready to do that.
We can go. I figured this out, so we can go at whatever speed you guys want. I'm ahead now, so.
All right, cool. So with the third pick in the Season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the St. Louis Scarecrows select Dominic Winters. Username is, I had it up for a second, 39 Alaska 39.
So as I say that, I did it wrong. So.
Well, actually, Blick's
happens.
getting picked again, so you'll love to see that.
Yeah.
But no, 39 Alaska's. He's been great in the rookie Discord so far. He's a friendly guy. He's involved with the users, making sure everyone knows where to find the PTs, and giving them reminders like, hey, might want to claim your TP today because if you don't do it today,
I didn't save.
But
we're gonna watch the magic happen live.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
Yeah, that's kind of the kind of player that you need with this high of a pick, really. You're trying to, when you have a high pick in any draft, you're looking for someone to build around and someone who's like helping out, telling newbies where the PTs are and stuff. That is an invaluable sort of locker room presence.
Oh my god, why isn't it updating? Okay, I don't know. This was just not going to update. I'm telling you that right now.
I am choosing to blame, as I often do, some random microstate. So this is all your fault, Turks and Caicos Islands. That's not even a microstate. That's not even an independent country.
You can't go wrong blaming Liechtenstein.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, Alaska. I got his thing. It's just with Colorado on it. Why is that doing that?
But strengths seem to be offensive read and passing, so playmaking center appears to be what we are looking at with Dominic Winters, which, based on his personality, that seems about right. He doesn't he seems like the kind of guy who is selfless, who wants to help others, and someone,
We're going to need to check with his J intern because he's got offensive read at 15, and they're supposed to remind players, maybe don't start at 15. So I don't know if Shawnee or Frost are watching, but your butt is grass.
I blame Shawnee.
It is probably Shawnee's fault, to be fair.
As we move on to pick number 4, which is the Great Falls Grizzlies, who actually finished with the tied for number 4 in the league. So I believe this was a trade pick. Lost in the playoffs to the eventual champion Quebec City. New GM, although I believe it's in an inside hire.
Yeah,
So
long time member of that locker room is my understanding.
yeah, so we'll see if they, keep in the direction they've traditionally gone, or maybe they want to, put their own legacy on Great Falls, which I believe is one of the newer J teams, relatively speaking,
Yeah,
if my
I mean,
memory is correct.
the really old teams are like Kelowna, Vancouver, Detroit. Yeah, those are the old teams.
And I do believe we have a pick in from them. So we're going to ball with the 4th pick in the Season 70 SMJHL entry draft. The Great Falls Grizzlies select Levin Shadanaxt, user Cluster, who is a draftable free agent, and Recreate.
Yeah, Cluster is a guy who he put a lot of effort into the last players on. He got a little burnt out because he took a lot of stuff on, which a lot of people when they first come on the site, they take a lot of stuff on, and eventually it just gets to them. And sometimes life happens. But he's come back, and he's excited to give it another go. And he's going 4th overall, and just the person he is, he's very loved. He's a great guy, great person to talk to. French Canadian, so -2 points, but you know.
Yeah, it was on Quebec City actually, as a draftable free agent. Won a cup with them, so maybe Great Falls looking for that winning mentality. But yeah, I can absolutely echo your point. Cluster is a good person. We talked about it last week on the SHL entry draft about people coming back to the league after burnout with recharge batteries, and you definitely get the feeling that the time off has been very good for Cluster. Former Toronto GM, I do believe, as well. Strengths: puck handling and positioning. Weaknesses: screening and hitting.
Yeah, it's definitely probably. I'm guessing an offensive forward is the direction he's headed here. But yeah, I'm excited. I think it's a great pick for Great Falls. They're gonna have a key member of that locker room, and Cluster's great.
Yeah, they will be very happy with that pick. As we move on to pick number 5, which is Regina, I do believe. A team, another more recent team. They finished 11th in the J last year, 24th, 38,
Corey, you
and
might want to
4.
change the. Okay.
You know what?
Oh.
I'm trying to do a lot of things at once here, and you know
I know,
me,
I'm
I
just
am
letting you know.
not good at multitasking.
It
Just
happens.
giving you a reminder.
It happens, but yeah, Regina's pick is actually in. So with the 5th pick in the Season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the Regina Elk select Just to Buy My Love, username Jert. Former GM of the team. I mean, this is a waste of a pick.
I mean, clearly we didn't spend enough to buy his love because he's not here and he's making Corey do his dirty work. So
And it's going
probably-
swimmingly.
we should have asked ACAP for a higher budget for this show so we could have brought Jordan, I guess. But
Yeah,
you can't fault
instead
this
you
pick,
have Budget Corey, which is
Yeah, we do have the store brand Jared, I guess, and Corey. But yeah, Jared's a great person. He's excellent to talk to. He knows a lot about the Montreal Canadiens, and he works in the Bell Center, so that's always fun to know. But he's former GM of the team, and just everyone. I've never met someone who doesn't really like Jert, and if they don't like Jert, they're probably not really people you'd end up wanting to like anyway. So can't fault the pick at all.
Yeah. Sarcasm aside, we love Jert. We know what Jert's about, and yeah, reunions motif from the SHL draft again rearing its head. As we move on to pick number 6 with the Nevada Battleborn. Nevada. I don't remember
Nevada,
what we
Nevada,
established the pronunciation.
Nevada. Jess will pop in the stream just to roast us again.
Nevada finished 31, 32, and 3 last season. So they have pick number 6. And the pick is, in fact, in. So with the 6th pick, the Nevada Battleborn select Thomas Sawchuk, username Nokazoa.
Yeah, fault me if I'm wrong, but I believe he invented the Nevada logo and stuff. He's also a former GM of the team, and he's had a player in like 10 seasons, but he's been active in the locker room the whole time. And apparently Jeff's been trying to convince him to recreate and join the team the whole time. So you had to know they would take him if he was there, and they got to be very excited to be bringing Nokazoa back into the Nevada Battleborn.
Yep. Strengths, passing, and puck handling, weaknesses, screening, and hitting. A lot of people with weaknesses in screening and hitting because physicality is overrated. But yeah, a guy who's been around the league for a long time. And coming back to Nevada. This is going to drive me mad, isn't it?
Yeah, see, if you don't think about it, it doesn't drive you mad, just other people. So just, we ball.
I'm very confident in most of my pronunciations, but somehow Nevada is tripping me up. Meanwhile, I did Cluster's name earlier, and it was like, this is easy. As we move on to pick number 7, which is the Anchorage Armada. I almost called them the Almada. I've been watching too much MLS. 32, 33, and 1 last season. Shout out to only 1 overtime loss in 66 games. Neat.
What's either the games weren't close enough for them to go to overtime, or they were just, really good in the extra frame.
Who knows? I didn't really look beyond surface level. But their pick is in. So to pick number 7, the Anchorage Armada select Finn Weiss, user TNL Astatine, who is a recreate, formerly known as Monkey D Luffy and Portgas D Ace. So no D initial here.
Yeah. So as part of the rookie class here, we were putting the mock together, and no one knew anything about Anchorage. So this is like the first big surprise so far. So just remember, Ragnar for ruining your mock drafts. Just a reminder. But it's we've seen a lot of right wingers in this draft so far, and we're going to keep seeing them. I think there's like 30 plus right wingers who have created in this draft. But in offensive focus forward, weakness and face off, but they're a winger, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, just a solid pick for them. And we'll definitely see how it is going forward.
Yeah, has been around a bit. Was on Buffalo with Luffy, so I think that's kind of the connection because I believe Ragnar's been in Buffalo forever. Last player was on QC, so know them there. As we move on to pick number 8, which I believe Great Falls is up again. This is their natural pick, I do believe.
Yeah, the Great Falls Grizzlies are up.
Yep. And we're not going to waste time with the 8th pick in the Season 70 SMJHL entry draft. The Great Falls Grizzlies select Andre Latreille. Latreille? I don't speak French. Username XCL16. XCL16XX. Is it 1 or 2 X's at the start?
2 X's, both sides. XXCL16XX, Andre Latreille. So I will harken back to the SHL draft we hosted last weekend, where 2 Latreilles were taken, if you recall, both to Toronto. This is actually their dad. He's been a great guy in the rookie locker room so far. He's talked a lot about how he wouldn't mind going to a different team from his sons, because then he could, his player could just kick their ass and he could roast them at the dinner table about it. But yeah,
Oh,
he's
I
a
love
great
it.
guy so far. He's got high speed. Not something we see a lot of people entering the J with, or in general focusing on. But speed is always important in hockey. It's where the game's going, and I'm real excited to see it. I'm a big fan of him. He's a real funny guy in the Discord so far.
Neom. We like the speed over here. As we move from pick 8 to pick 9, which is the Kelowna Knights, who finished with the same exact record as Great Falls last regular season. So that's a thing that exists.
I mean, I will say I'm a big fan of Kelowna in general. I used to GM this team back in season like 7. There's an award named after one of my players there. Kelowna's a great place to play. Artie's great. Let's see who he's picking.
Yeah, and I work with Artie on IHF, so I can also vouch Artie confirmed cool. But let's go to the pick because it is in. And with the 9th pick in the season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the Kelowna Knights select Crystal McLeod, username Ekalyrica.
Yeah, this user is a very physical individual. I believe they have a lot of focus on the physical side. But they also have the screen, the checking is it's a very classic power forward kind of build. Originally wanted to be kind of a fighter, but swapped it up into a power forward because I've been telling rookies that fighting doesn't exist in the SHL. But yeah,
Juke's gonna be so mad at you.
who is?
Juke.
Yeah, Juke's not real.
Oh
Juke
I know-
truly
I
is the
know-
lowest form of comedy.
no.
I also know that Rancid Bungee has been looking for people asking for people who want to make enforcers or whatever. Like he's working on a thing where are all the enforcers gone? Rancid Bungee, if you're watching this, I think you just found part of the answer.
I murdered them personally.
Zero regrets. As we move on to pick number 10, which is the Maine Timber. Team that finished second in the regular season, 44-20-2. Recent champion as well.
I may have leaked that by going too fast, by the way.
Yeah, you're often swapping the player name before the screen swaps over.
I'm gonna slow down
All good, all good.
because I
All good.
forgot there's a
That also-
delay.
Yeah,
It also doesn't help that I've been very, very fast.
but
I feel
yeah,
like
Maine Timber, they've got a solid management team. Big fan of them. If you ever go in the Maine Timber locker room and you get drafted there, or you're there for whatever reason, just type !chop. You'll get to see a tree falling on the head of someone with my username on it. So
that's so random.
well, basically, there was an NL Maine rivalry, and when I say rivalry, I mean Newfoundland used to beat the crap out of Maine consecutively for like 12 seasons or something, and would beat them in the playoffs every single year. So we type !chop to mock them. But I was in the main locker room, so I typed it all the time, and then they just added the GIF to get back at me. So
I respect the pettiness.
but yeah, great
but-
people there.
Yep. And Maine's pick is in. So with the 10th pick in the season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the Maine Timber select Mick Mayhem, user Maddie86, another recreate defender from the looks of things.
Yeah. So Mick Mayhem, his last player was Matty Mayhem. He was in the 60, I want to say 67 or 68 draft. When he was coming up in that draft, his TP per day was in like the top 5. But I guess some life might have happened, or he got burnt out a bit. He ended up recreating because he fell behind the TP after being drafted by NOLA. But Maine is where he played before. He wanted to go back to Maine, was excited about it, and I know that Maine was looking at defenders. They liked the vibe and what he brings. So bringing back Mick Mayhem, filling that need for them is something they're going to be very excited about.
Yeah, I know Maddie mostly from another league. He's also a GM in SSL, and while I am still salty that he relegated my team last season, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. Main, the match was there. He's a good dude. He'll fit in. Good pick for the Timber. So move to pick number 11, which the Scarecrows are back on the clock.
all birds be scared.
Maybe.
Yeah, Sparky with the first pick, he took a center. So maybe he's looking at some kind of other forward to combo and build chemistry with Winters, or filling up a defensive role. We'll find out.
Yeah, is he looking for a complementary forward, or is he looking for like a cornerstone defender? We will reveal it now. The pick is in. With the 11th pick in the season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the St. Louis Scarecrows select Jay Brizzy, defender, username Jay the Great. Recreate, I believe, was there with his last player, I want to say.
Yeah, it sounds
I
about
think
right.
yeah.
But
Offensive defenseman, passing
definitely
an
an
offensive read.
defenseman. Yeah. You know, if you want to be good in the SMJHL as a defenseman, you gotta play the offensive side. That's where all the greats have done it. By all the greats, I mean me specifically. Everyone else is just subpar. But yeah,
SMHO's right there too.
yeah, passing offensive read, good focus. No screening. If anyone knows Ranger Jace, when he was drafted on his first player had like 10 in screening as a defenseman for some reason. So you can go mock him for that. He told me he was a new meta, but no one's. A couple people have done it since, but I think they've all redistributed the TPB if they're active and face off. So really, neither of his weaknesses are really weaknesses because he's a defenseman. But Jay
Yeah.
Brizzy heading to St. Louis, great pick.
I mean, maybe they're trying to do the Dustin Flynn / Brent Burns where they can do both. But that's not how things work here usually. As we move on to the next pick, which is owned by, I believe this is Newfoundland.
Yeah, this is the Newfoundland Berserkers. You know, I'm gonna be honest. I know who's gonna get picked here before I even look. I know. No, I just know there's someone who's had just like an excellent scouting with Newfoundland. They're gonna be very excited to bring him in. I think he fits the culture. They got to be real excited to get him at this spot. So, you know, I know
Can
Patty
you guys
and
give me
Irvine got
one
to be
second?
very
Sorry.
excited.
Cool.
Uh,
All good.
But yeah, Newfoundland, a team that dominated the early S60s with, I think it was like 5 championships in 6 seasons or something. Possibly more. Like just
It
absolutely.
was something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
just
we
grand
lost to them.
roughshod.
Because I was with QC when we lost to them in the final season 64.
Oh, weird. I was with Newfoundland that season when we beat you in the finals.
we were constantly really good, but we just kept running into all-time great teams like
Yeah, Detroit.
Newfoundland at the peak of their powers. Detroit had the best J regular season ever, and then Nevada swept through the entire playoffs. Nevada, god damn it! Excuse my French.
Tabarnak. Yeah, no, truly, like, you know, they've slowed down a bit, but they had a great season last season. And I think they're looking to come on strong, bring in some new blood on that team. And yeah, I think they're gonna be real excited for this pick.
Yep, and pick is in if we're given the clearance.
I'm trying to figure out one thing, so if you can give me like a minute, that would be great.
Copy that. But yeah, you can't expect a dynasty like that to roll on forever, but they are still one of the best run teams in the J. I believe
I'm not
last season.
saying it's a coincidence, but the second Ham stepped down and Patty took over, the team went to crap. I'm not saying it's Patty's
blame
fault.
Patty.
Nobody is blaming Patty here, but we're kind of saying it's Patty's fault.
They went 41, 23, and 2 last season, which was 5th in the J. 84 points.
We are good to go.
All right, so with the 12th pick in the season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the Newfoundland Berserkers select Adalbert Steiner, username El Merchanto. First-gen player, right-handed defender, again, someone who looks like he's going for more of an offensive build, looking at those strengths, puck handling, and offensive read.
Well, I mean, they have 2 excellent defensemen as well already there, so he'll slot in really well with them. in Lesteroy Doozer and Philip Fry. But Elmer Chanto they were really high on him. He's part of a team that develops an online game. If you ever see Merchant on the Discord, you can ask him about it. It's a pretty interesting looking game. They've got some cool art. But he fits their vibe. They like nerds, and he's a massive nerd. So it just seemed like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, you're
Sorry,
not
nerds
wrong.
and alcoholics.
Yeah,
Nerds
there you
and
go.
alcoholics.
There you go. You nailed it. That's better. Or both. I mean, often it's both.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a great pick. Adalbert Steiner heading to the Newfoundland Berserkers, rounding out that D-core that's just very deep right now with Fry and Oduzer.
Yep, and we have pick 13 on the clock, which I believe has been traded. It is owned by Detroit, but I do believe we do have a trade. I think it's just... Yeah, there is a trade. They have just moved back a couple spots. Detroit has traded 13 overall to the Yukon Malamutes for pick 16 and a third rounder in season 72. So Yukon has seemed to find someone that they really like. Team that finish.
Flu and Noof are a great squad. They made a logo based off of Jace's dog. So yeah,
I think everyone can approve that.
Yeah, they're definitely trading up because they got their eye on someone specific here.
Yep, a team that finished 1946-1 last season, second worst in the league. But they do have a very good brain trust. I feel like they've built a very good culture in Yukon. And we'll see what they do with this pick, which I do believe is in.
Also, I got a question first. Is it Yum or Yuck for their abbreviation? Because they say it's Yum, but I say it's Yuck.
Chaos, YKN. Chaotic neutral. You were both wrong.
I stand on Team Yuck.
I'm choosing the chaotic option.
Fair enough. That's pick 13. The Yukon Malamutes are selecting. Go ahead.
Furious Chicken. Username? Furious Chicken.
Sometimes when there's a defenseman on the board that you really want, you gotta just trade up for them. But Furious Chicken, they've been pumping out media recently. I think they've had like 11K words in media or something absurd in the past week or like couple days. Very active in the Discord. Also hilarious player name. But yeah, it looks like they're focusing on that physical shutdown defense with checking and hitting. It's going to be a great pick for them. Flu's making a solid call moving up for this individual, I think.
Yeah, this is another one that I know from SSL specifically because he GMs a team there, has kind of been the public face of that team since it started. Furious Chicken, very, very active, very, very good user. Obviously, pumping out that media is going to be very good for a first-gen player, especially because you need to build up that bank account, and I think that's something that GMs value is, you'll be able to afford your coaching and your coaching and your weekly training. So that is good for the dedication score. I'm just inventing things now. But yeah, UConn will be very, very happy with that. I am a very big fan of that pick.
Yeah, no, I think Chicken's going to be an excellent pick. Like back-to-back first gens who I think are just absolutely incredible and tearing up the league so far. But this draft is so incredibly deep. A lot of great users in the rookie Discord so far. And you'd love to see them going to teams that being valued for it.
Yep, and we go on to pick 14, which is the Carolina Kraken. We know the Kraken, very well-run team with 7, and we'll see what they have in store. They finished 37-26-3 last season.
Well, we do have to acknowledge Frenchie allegedly also does some work for Carolina. It is alleged, but
alleged, never proven.
You have to bring it up.
Never proven. but I do believe this pick is in. So with the 14th pick in the Season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the Carolina Kraken select Marshall Madden, username Gumbaman. Recreate winger.
Gumbo Man's been in the Discord a bit, but I think there was a lot of rumors that this individual was going to go to St. Louis. Heading the pick before St. Louis had a chance to go. They must have really liked this user, had a great conversation with them, bringing in, that agile left winger with a good acceleration. They must be excited about this pick. Absolutely.
Yeah, very mobile with that acceleration, that agility. I assume speed probably going to be up there as well. Don't have the build in front of me, obviously, but in weaknesses, face-offs and shot blocking. And that's the last pick of the first round. And I didn't miscount this time.
Oh, there's one more pick in the first round left. I'm just messing with you.
I'm so bad at counting that I wasn't sure if that was like if I had miscounted again or you're just messing with me. This is so St. Louis owns this pick, except I believe they have actually traded back. Yes, they have traded. Wait a minute. Yeah, they. It's actually going to be Carolina picking here because there has been a trade.
It's a trade to announce. Is it just a pick swap from Carolina and St. Louis?
Yeah, basically, Gumbaman, who we said just got drafted by Carolina, he's going to St. Louis after all in a trade that Carolina gets pick 15, which is this pick, as well as a season 73 St. Louis 3rd and 4th. So
yeah. So the rumor was actually Gumbaman was going to be hired to become the St. Louis co-GM. So I guess the Kraken capitalized and get a couple extra picks to send Gumbaman back over.
4D chess. So that happened. And I believe Carolina has also traded this pick.
Seven's making moves today. It's pretty much what's happening.
Yes, we do have another trade with this pick. Call this the Mike Sillinger pick. It's being traded so much. So this pick is being rerouted to Regina in what's essentially just a pick swap. The 15th overall pick to Regina, 18th overall to Carolina, along with a season 72 Regina 3rd.
They're really stocking up some picks in a later draft.
Yeah, that is one of the moves of all time. But respect to them for getting stuff. You never know, one of those picks could turn out to be a stud. We don't know. So Regina is now on the clock, as this pick has been traded twice in the last 5 minutes. And the pick is in from
Give
the
me
Elk.
1 second.
Cool.
A lot of trades, so a lot of things are moving on the back end.
Yep.
It do be like that. That's what happens when there's a lot of movement. A lot of stuff has to happen behind the scenes. Things go fast. See what the Elk have.
Yeah, we'll see who's
their
joining
sleeve.
Jert in Regina.
Yeah, this could be I don't know. I don't know where my train of thought derailed.
So Regina's got some great people here. I just pulled up their roster. They have all-time SMJHL legend Joe Jeff.
The legend, the GOAT.
They also have the left wing EE. Solid hockey name in Gritty McGritterson.
We are good to go.
All right. Okay. All right. With the 15th pick in the season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the Regina Elk select Mercedes Bailey, username Bailey, who is literally working the back end for this and who's in this room.
Is me. I'll chime in for that one. Yeah, we had a lot of back end stuff to like going through the last trades, trying to get everything loaded up. So, I look forward to joining Rena and Reno, who I talked to a lot in other leagues, including this one. So, look forward to joining them for sure.
So, Bailey, we got a little bit of an issue. How come your player card doesn't exist?
I have no words for that. I see how yeah.
Just spend another
It's fine.
50K on another pack. I know that's not the player card we're talking about, but I just had to
Like
shamelessly
when
plug
I go
player
to look
cards.
up your stats to put your player in,
Oh yeah.
it doesn't show up.
Yeah, but regardless, Bailey is just an absolutely great person to talk to. Does a lot for the league. You know, he's doing the back end for both drafts, which is a terrible job. I wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah, the back end people deserve a lot of props because without them, this league is nothing. So, tip the cap to them. As we move on to pick 16, which this is the pick that Detroit traded back with UConn. And that pick,
I'm putting up the sad. I'm putting up the sad Regina picks with nobody in it. Sad face.
Honestly, we could just get whatever Joe Jeff's render is, and that's everyone for Regina.
Ugh.
Jake Muzzin, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I think I
only
remember
me.
being. I think I remember being Jake Muzzin for whatever reason.
Oh, there's
But,
not.
do we-
Okay, yeah. So Regina selects absolutely no one.
Regina selects the Void, which is an apt description of much of the province of Saskatchewan.
And Joe Jeff's TP earning.
Jesus, we're getting all the strays today. I say, firing a shot.
Yeah, that will bring what, Detroit on the clock at 16.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, do we have the all clear?
1 minute. Not even.
Cool.
All right. We can go.
All right, with the 16th pick, the Detroit Falcons select Theodore Svatos, username Habs fan from Ontario. What a waste of a pick, SMH.
Yeah, I mean, truly, just I don't know what they're thinking here. You know, I like if you also look at the build, like there's no shooting range for an offensive player. There's no defense. There's nothing. It's just a cherry picker. I don't know why you'd want this bum. I will say I've also gone to Detroit in previous drafts, first overall, and then promptly had a player who just couldn't score. So perhaps history will repeat itself.
Yeah, they have a good brain trust there, so they'll figure out how to utilize Miss Vato. You know, with Vaxler, I think did he eventually get a new co? Because I remember that being open.
I believe they have a coach yet. I'm not sure who it is.
Because I know that opened.
Honestly, I just
don't
like to
remember
think
if
it's
it got filled.
Jace, because anytime I talk to Jace, he says scree for some reason, so pretty sure
SMH.
it's Jace. That's where I'm at.
As we move to pick 17, which is the Vancouver Whalers, whose pick is in. So with the 17th pick, the Vancouver Whalers select Bellamy Blake, user Rain Delay.
Yep.
Recreate offensive-looking defender. I mean, 7.8 out of 10, too much water. Rain Delay.
Yeah, I want the rain to come when it's supposed to, because then I can plan around it. The delay gets a little upsetting, but what's not upsetting is how great of a pick this is. Rain Delay's been a great person in the rookie Discord. Offensive defensemen are always great in juniors to have, especially. They're gonna love this pick for their locker room and help building up that core in Vancouver. And hopefully at some point they'll stop being Whalers and start being something that doesn't murder a majestic creature. But until then, they're gonna love Captain Ahab here.
Maybe they will be the majestic creature. You're now the Vancouver Whales.
Yeah, exactly.
England is not affiliated with this mention, allegedly. As we move on to pick 18, which is the Carolina Kraken, who have been wheeling and dealing to move down to this pick and also stockpile a bunch of other picks. So we'll see what 7 has cooking under the sea. We go from the whalers to the mythical sea creature of the North Atlantic Ocean. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'll just announce the pick if we can.
Yeah, I think it's time to unleash the Kraken.
At the 18th pick in the Season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the Carolina Kraken select Philip Svatos, username just another hockey fan.
Yeah,
Seems pretty average to me.
You want to talk about true bums? This guy is a bum. His last player was like only second all time at SMJHL scoring. Like, who gives a shit about that? But yeah, like, he's just not good at hockey and just a toxic LR presence, honestly. But clearly he's tricked them. Maybe they play Age of Empires just like he tricked DK into being drafted there. But somehow he's bamboozled them, and they've taken him here at this spot.
I feel like you should give some context here.
Oh yeah, this is my brother in real life, and yeah, but he's actually a good person. They're gonna be happy with him. He's also the co-GM of Tampa Bay, and his last player was his first one. He had life hit him a bit hard, so he fell a bit behind TP earnings. So he's recreating to try to max earn and help Tampa Bay out as they're edging out of the rebuild. I feel like he must have had a good conversation with 7 or Frenchie, and pretended he was a Habs fan because they take him here.
Yeah, strengths in offensive read and acceleration. So he gets up to top speed quickly, and he knows puck. So we move to pick number 19, which is owned by the Colorado Raptors again. I don't know why I'm saying again. This is literally their second pick. So that pick is in. So with the 19th pick, the Colorado Raptors select Foggy Nelson, username Dak. Not Doc, that doesn't exist anymore. Dak, with a C. First gen player, left defender, offensive strengths. I feel like we've been seeing a run on offensive defensemen in terms of the defensemen in this class.
It's the Cale Makar effect. Everyone wants to be Cale Makar. But yeah, his name is Foggy, so his screening is low. I guess maybe he's like self-screening a little. But yeah, offensive defenseman, bringing in the excellent strengths at like 13 in passing and shooting accuracy. Hopefully the range is suitable as well. Just bump that up if you want, because it'll really help you score from the point. Not that I speak from experience. But yeah, there's gonna be a great pick. Rugsy's got to be excited to bring Doc in. Dak.
Yeah, not Doc, because that's now Ryan, and also didn't win WJC Gold for the first time in forever. And also not Dak is in the football player. So I don't think you need screening to be very high when you're Foggy. Like you just have this effect of like the fog on the ice. It's like that one. It's like that one final in like, was it the 80s where there was a game that was all foggy? Was it 80s or 90s? Something like that. I'm very rusty. As we move on to pick number 20, which is the Nevada Battleborn. Nevada!
That's -1 TP, I believe.
SMH. SMH.
Yeah, Nevada back on the clock.
Yeah, we'll see what they have in store. With the 20th pick, because it is in, the Nevada Battleborn, got it right that time, they've chosen violence. They've selected Max Carnage, username Lesiz.
Yeah, Sizz is a guy who has been super excited in the rookie Discord to get drafted. I think it's like 1 a.m. where he is right now. He was staying up and grabbing a bourbon and some Tutti Frutti. Shout out Tutti Frutti. He's come in I think he came in today, if not yesterday night late, and he's been super active and excited. And he's building balance and passing. He thinks he's Joe Thornton and Patrick Marleau put together. They got to be real excited about this pick. 5 and offensive read to start is something I fully predict will be changed by the first game of the season.
Yeah, that's kind of an important attribute. That might just be first gen, not really, you have an idea of what you want to do, but like you don't know how to fully execute that. But yeah, that will be a first gen, very good pick for Nevada.
Down
As
to 10. Nice.
I'm on a roll. Let's go. As we move on to pick 21, owned by the Anchorage Armada. Already with their first pick in Finn Weiss earlier. So we'll see who will be added to who will be the new ship in the Armada or something like that. I don't know. I was trying to make some boat reference. I'm just gonna announce the pick
Who's
before
the new seaman or sea woman? Or sea Who's the new sea creature?
Okay, with the 21st pick in the Season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the Anchorage Armada select Barg Hasbite, username MMFlex.
I believe it's flex, like flex for me, but maybe he just like flexes M&Ms, like anthropomorphized M&Ms. But yeah, he's another very active individual in the rookie Discord. Very kind, easy to talk to. They're going to be real excited about bringing this kind of presence into the locker room. Yeah, big fan of the pick.
Yeah, this is another one I kind of know from another sim league because we are both on the sloths and PBE, so good pick there. Passing and offensive read strength, so looking to be a playmaking wing from the looks of things. Hitting and positioning weaknesses, so that's a thing. But a good pick for Anchorage. They will be very happy with that. As we move on to pick number 22, and Carolina's back, and this time probably not trading. So the pick is in. With the 22nd pick in the Season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the Carolina Kraken select Alexei Kasturba. Username, he was a jazz man. Must be a saxophone enthusiast.
I
Recreate.
think it's like it might be like a parody of he was a skater boy. Instead, it's like he was a jazz man. When they're more adult and grown up, instead of skateboarding, they're kind of playing some saxophone or something.
Strengths and balance, checking and balance. So, what does he think he is? The government checks and balances and all that.
That was a terrible joke. I just have to comment. I wasn't going to say anything, but wow.
Feel free to throw your tomatoes, but I'm just gonna try and catch them. Gonna catch one and just eat it like an apple. That sounds incredibly
I guess
cursed.
it's like
Why the heck would I do that?
It's a little known fact that snake charmers they use like flutes to charm a kraken. You actually use jazz music. So
as we move on to pick 23, it's Quebec City. It's their first pick of the day for the reigning champions. And that pick I do believe is in. So with the 23rd pick in the SMJHL entry draft, the Quebec City Citadel select Netman goalie, username Hordle. Create. Hordle's been around the league.
Surprising absolutely nobody.
Yeah, Hordle's been around the league for a while now. Has been very active in he's been around QCC for like ever. Because his last player was on this past team. Strengths in positioning and rebound, weaknesses in blocker and gloves. So shoot high if you want to beat Netman.
I do believe that in the championship game, Hordle's last player scored the game-winning goal. So, there's some QCC facts. It was assisted by absolute playoff legend Jack St. Clair, who put the playoff point record up last season.
Yeah, he was a man possessed. But yeah, QCC going with the well of familiarity, which, makes sense. When you're picking in the second round, it's like, and you just won the title, it's like, why not? Especially
This
because
is sorry, go ahead.
I believe this is the final year in the J for Walter Sobchak. I don't remember if it's last or second last. I'm very bad at counting.
I'm not sure either.
But have a succession plan. So we move to pick 24, which is the Berserkers again, I believe. Yes, Berserkers. So with pick 24, the Newfoundland Berserkers select Eric Erickson, username Beta.
I mean, you got to be a beta if both your names are the same name, right? No,
I
just,
mean, I believe Berserkers are like some like Viking things, so it makes sense, I guess.
well, okay. So historically, Leif Erikson was said to have landed in Newfoundland prior to the European, well, I guess other European colonizers.
Yes.
So that's why they have the Viking theme in Newfoundland. But yeah, Eric Erickson. It's another one, an offensive right wing. Again, the theme right wing, coming up and heading over to the Berserkers from the north.
Yep, strengths in getting open and puck handling. So he knows where to find his spots, and he knows how to keep the puck on his stick. And we move to pick number 25, which I believe Great Falls is up again. A team that's already made a couple of picks in the first round. Levin Shatnaxt and Andre Latre. So we'll see
who's joining them there.
What they're building, because I think they've had a pretty good day so far. They hope to keep that going. With pick number 25, which is in. With the 25th pick in the Season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the Great Falls Grizzlies select Andrin Ackerson, username Jorek.
Yeah, Jorek is a long-time member of the league. I believe at one point he GM'd the Manhattan Rage for a while. Not always, the most vocal guy, but he's definitely an earner. He'll be on the site. He'll maintain his player, and I've had a couple conversations with him. He's a good guy to talk to. He's fun. They got to be excited to bring him in, especially when you're drafting at like 25. Getting a guy is pretty much a sure bet is always a great thing to have.
I'm pretty sure this is also the first time we've seen screening as a strength and not a weakness. So, he takes pucks to the net, etc., gets pucks in deep. Assorted other useless buzzwords that you hear from hockey players in interviews.
Yeah, pucks
because
in
they
deep,
say
just giving her all, playing for the team,
and assorted other buzzwords that. As we move on to the Kelowna Knights again at pick 26. A team that is... basically everyone's picked at this point. I don't know why that out.
Yeah, I think Quebec was the last team to have their first selection.
That seems right. With the 26th pick in the Season 70 SMJHL entry draft, the Kelowna Knights select Logan Webb, username Spidey. Very fitting surname.
You want to talk about a user who has taken that break and come back in force? Spidey had a player back, and I want to say Season 4, Season 5. But he's also, his second player was his real big one, who set he's a Hall of Fame player. I think he set some scoring records at the time. But yeah, he was a very active member. He's been very active in the SMJHL media section lately. Where he's mostly just been shitting all over the SMJHL logos. So hopefully Kelowna is one he liked. But yeah, whoever is intern, we have to fire because he has not only one 15, but 2 15s on his sheet.
Look, he just wants to skate fast, go bar down. But that's speed and shooting accuracy.
Get out of here. Unbelievable. Yeah, Spidey's a great pick. Lot of energy. I don't believe he's a big Discord user, which might be why he was, probably available around 26. But long time SHL user.
Yeah, we also I just love that username Spidey's last name is Webb. Like Logan Webb is like an actual like sports person.
Well, all of his
As we-
players before were also Webbs.
Fair enough. As we go on to pick number 27, the main Timber are on the clock yet again. Why? I just feel like
Yet
I'm
again.
repeating like
Yet again.
I feel like you could make
Another
a drinking repeat, and I would be like responsible for like 50 cases of alcohol
It's like
poisoning.
that How I Met Your Mother episode with Robin on the news. But
I've never seen that episode. I watch that show, so I'll take your for it. And we're going to announce the pick with the 27th pick in the season 70 SMJ. The main Timber select Shootin' Blanks. Username Lord Ball Gag.
so
I'm sorry.
for everyone who's not in the SHL GM chat, I often make a joke that a vasectomy is when they cut your phallus off. So if this is a vasectomy joke, I am sorry about losing your member there. But yeah, Lord Ballgag, a 15 in face-offs. So he's
Shawnee even more fired.
yeah, Shawnee, you're never getting a lead job ever again. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's like that. It's Manny Malhotra reborn in the SHL. Good stick checking, good face-offs, shooting range of only directly in front of the net, and not a lot of offensive read either. It's that shutdown center everyone wants on their third line.
Yeah, I guess that low shooting range is fitted. Blanks. Wonder if his accuracy is also pretty far down.
Oh my God. They're just right in themselves right now, aren't they?
Listen. For every joke I get right, there's probably like 15 I get wrong. I don't know.
Not me. Funny.
Listen, I make a million bad puns. This is nothing. As we go to pick number 28, the Carolina Kraken will be making this pick. And with the 28th pick in the SMJHL entry draft, the Carolina Kraken select Matt Stroh, username Matt Stroh, first gen player, someone I'm actually somewhat PBE. We were on the same minor league team, and another guy that really cool guy.
Yeah, it's again another right winger. It's a theme of right wingers and offensive defensemen. That's the only players. Oh, and people who wanted to be fighters and then switched to power forward. Those are the three kinds of players in this draft. But yeah, focus on passing and getting open. Has screening as a weakness, but it's 9, so it's got to be a pretty well-rounded build if both your weaknesses are 9s. Just kind of an all-arounder. How does that TP work? They must have more than 155. I'm gonna blame Shawnee on this one.
Shawnee is just like in the mud. Yeah, passing and getting open strength. So kind of going for that two-way forward build, or maybe it is over 105, and I'm not the only one bad at math. And that is the final pick of the second round. I don't know why I'm acting surprised, because these draft rounds are naturally shorter. So pick number 29, which is owned by the Yukon Malamutes. And with this 29th pick, the Malamutes will be selecting Jordan Tanner, Tanner 20.
Yeah, when the username and the player name line up, makes it easy to know who the actual person is. So when you're trying to say like, "Oh, who's your player?" when you're doing scouting, you don't have to ask them much because it's right there. But a left wing for once, so finally getting someone on the opposite side, but another offensive winger with a good ratings in puck handling and shooting accuracy, but weaknesses, I say that in quotes, of getting open and passing in 10 each. Just a strong all around kind of offensive player, it looks like.
Yeah, instant offense kind of guy. It's an attack dog, if you will. I wonder what his defensive ratings look like, because like the weaknesses are still really like they're both offensive, but they're still tens. Like at a 155, I don't think that's. Maybe I'm just exposing myself as bad at math once again, which wouldn't be surprising. But like, I don't know. As we go to pick number 30, which is the Scarecrows, I believe. Yes, Scarecrows. And with that 30th pick, the St. Louis Scarecrows will be selecting Kyle Barreto, goalie, username WubbaLubbaDubDub184.
I'm going to
I'm
wager
sorry.
a guess and say they like Rick and Morty. I don't know what it is. Just throwing a guess out here.
Weaknesses in skating and passing. So Marty Turco, he positioning and reflexes for the first-gen player. Which, I mean, it's hard to analyze goalie, and I didn't do any scouting, so I'm not really sure I can provide much insight. It's a pick.
Yeah, goalies aren't people in the SHL as much as I would like them to be, because I feel bad for Ramen, but they really aren't.
Goalies aren't real. Goalies are like birds, which is probably wait. But then he just got drafted by the Scare. What am I doing? Mental brain. I was going somewhere with that. The Vancouver Whalers are back up at pick 31. And with that 31st pick, the Vancouver Whalers will be selecting, and they hope this name is not Noman, Inactive Forever. Username Kit.
Kit.
Kit is a longtime SHL user. Doesn't mean he's particularly good at the SHL. He's been here a long time.
Hey, he's got good relations, okay?
He does maintain foreign relations in the Top Gun manner. He'll give people the finger sometimes. But no, Kit's a good guy. He's fun to talk to. Hopefully he's not going to be inactive forever, and this player will become something good. But he made a right wing, which everyone's making a right wing, and speed and acceleration are the focuses. So bringing that speed to the game that everyone's looking for.
I feel like every time I see a right winger, I'm like, you know that meme of the Toy Story, like,
I don't want to play with you anymore. The dropping the
no,
the
not that one. Like where it's like there's one toy that's saying something, and then you zoom out, and it's like everything is the same. That's this draft with right wingers. You would know it to see it. I'm bad at explaining things.
Yeah, it's a lot of right winger. I say this as I made a right winger.
Part of the problem, SMH. As the Regina Elk are back on the clock at pick 32. Their pick is in. And they will be taking a pick 32. Ali Mathieson, username DGarrett32. Good positioning, good reflexes, weaknesses in passing and poke check, which I think have mostly been established are mostly useless unless you're making a gimmick.
I mean,
but
goalie TP wasn't real, but
DG is wonderful people. Wonderful people. Regina is gonna really like this pick.
Yeah, I think especially if you can add antlers to the helmet, it's just that much more of the net covered when you're in the butterfly. So it should be a good pick.
As long as the antlers are durable. And not like those styrofoam like the targets for the shooting accuracy at the skills competition. Do they even still do that? I'm out of touch.
I don't know. I don't know.
And on to pick number 33, which is the Berserkers on the clock again. And with pick 33, The Newfoundland Berserkers select Luke Labrie, username Labreeze. Points for the pun.
Yeah, I believe Jert did not like this player because he said he had an ex-girlfriend who was named Labrie. But regardless, they've been active in the Discord and a good person to chat with as well. Newfoundland's got to be excited for this pick. They love bringing in new people to join the Discord and chat with everyone. And this is their third first gen they've taken now, so definitely getting a new pool of lifeblood into that locker room. And
Yeah,
it's an offensive right winger.
Yeah, and I don't think that offensive read weakness is going to last until the regular season. I think we established that. Max Carnage was also really low on the offensive read, but had an offensive build.
Yeah. Also, to be fair to Kit, I said he was bad. He does have a first ballot Hall of Fame player. So while he's just mostly bad, but there was the one aberration.
Lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
As we go on to pick number 34, which is the Nevada Battleport.
Almost did it.
Take a shot every time I mispronounce Nevada, and you're probably dead by now.
Yeah, Nivida is on the clock.
Nevada. Instead of just making more cursed pronunciations, I'm just going to announce the pick. With the 34th pick, the Nevada Battleborn select Schnoppelloppel, username Mo7171. Another first gen.
Yeah, bring in first gens. I'm just curious what the numbers on the end of the username are. 7171. It's not a date or anything, so just curious. But Schnoppelloppel is a very good name. Another offensive defenseman coming in on the left side this time, but focuses on offensive read and puck handling, and not at all physical with no checking or hitting. Again, just primarily focus on putting up those points and playing that transition kind of game.
Yeah, physicality is overrated. We're just gonna lead the rush and kill you in transition and also on the power play. So that is Schnoppelloppel, which elite name. Try saying that 5 times fast. Actually, don't. Your tongue might end up twisting on itself. As we move on.
Schnoppelloppel.
You guys give me 1 second. We're missing another player from the draft board, so.
Okay. Pick 35 is the Anchorage Armada, by the way. So that is a team that has already, they've gone with 2 forwards so far, both right wingers, because everyone's a right winger these days.
True.
So you wonder if they're going to go D or potentially a center here.
I think forward positions are largely, you could swap it along, interchangeable. That's the word, in the J especially. So, right wingers aren't always going to be playing right wing here, is my guess.
Yeah, a lot of them might be playing on their off wing.
We're good.
Okay, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So with the 35th pick, the Anchorage Armada select Xavier Ali. Username Xavier Ali.
Maybe not. Hold on.
Oh.
No, we're good. I'll change it really quick.
Okay,
just
so
not going to come up.
Yeah, this user has recruited 10, 15 people in the last day from one of his sites. He just brought an absurd number of people over. So that's mainly what I know about them so far, is that they've just recruited an absurd amount of people. And if half of those people hit a certain TP threshold, he's just gonna get a fuck ton of free TP.
Free money too, and it can only be good for the league, unless they cause trouble, which I don't think is going to happen. If that's a whole lot of new blood you introduce to the league, and growth is a good thing, and assorted other things. I don't know where I was going with that.
But yeah,
So that
it's
is
a big time recruiter heading over to the Armada.
another right winger according to the board. So Anchorage loading up on. Oops, all right
I'm
wingers.
pretty sure there isn't a player in this draft who isn't a right wing. We've just mispositioned them.
Even the goalies are apparently right wings.
Yeah.
As we have the Colorado Raptors at pick 36. Pick is in. And with pick 36, the Raptors select Scary Jerry, username Durden. Recreate goalie, good positioning and recovery. Mentally fragile, though, so he doesn't have that dog in him, and his stamina is bleh.
Yeah, if you don't have that dog in you when you're playing goalie, it's sometimes it's fine in the SMJHL level, but to get to the higher tiers, you gotta have that dog in you at that point. But Dern's a long time SHL user again. I believe he's had one or two players that have ended up in Colorado. He's had a bit of a struggle after like his first or second player, just like maintaining that fire to keep earning past the SMJHL level. I think his last player hit like just under 900 TP for the Texas Renegades. But he's a good guy to talk to. He's real friendly. So Rugsy's got to love bringing him into to Colorado here, and they needed a goalie, so they got to be happy.
Yep, sometimes you got to draft for need, and if the person happens to be dope as well, all the more power to you. As we go to pick number 37, the Vancouver Whalers are on the clock. The majestic creatures, or whatever we called them earlier. Or, no, evolving into majestic creatures, not the ones that hunt them, or something like that. I don't.
Hopefully, they're becoming slightly less barbaric. Is the hope.
And what they also hope is that this guy's name is foreshadowing, because with the 37th pick, the Vancouver Whalers select Johnny Fourstar, username Wickadoodle.
Wick is someone, if you can keep him around, who's a fantastic person. He's funny. I believe he had a Hall of Fame player. He at one point was going to law school, so his player's TP kind of dwindled out a bit. And he struggled outside of max earning the J, which is why he named his player Johnny Fourstar, because he knows he's going to earn the J, but he's not too sure about the SHL per his media. But Wick's a great guy. We won a couple cups in New England together in season 30 and season 31. And they're going to love him in Vancouver. He's a great guy. Can't say enough.
Yeah, another right winger, because, of course, with strengths in screening and getting open. So, positional sort of goal scorer type guy. Not very good with passing or puck handling, though. So, he's going to be a side pass merchant or whatever. And I do believe we have a trade with this coming pick 38. Yes, we do have a trade. The St. Louis Scarecrows sent pick 38 to the Maine Timber for a season 73 Maine third. So Maine kicking the can down the road, St. Louis sees someone they want. And, you make the trade because you see someone.
Yeah, I mean, it's the values of these picks are to be decided, especially when you have 3 drafts away. But I believe people are loading up because S73 is projected to be a Reddit draft, is my guess. There's been a lot of focus in like the Carolina returns of S73 picks. So that's why you're likely seeing an emphasis on that kind of a return for a comparable 3rd round pick. But yeah, Maine making a swap here with what was the team?
St. Louis.
St. Louis. It's Sparky trying to load up. He's got a lot of spots to fill on his roster, so gonna be eyeing someone here.
Yep. And with that, and Maine's 38th pick is in. And with that 38th pick, the Maine Timber select Merle Van Nistelrooy, username Casium Xenon. Casium? I don't know. I'm not a chemistry person.
Yeah, I don't know the chemistry aspect to it, but it is a right defenseman. It looks like another offensive defenseman kind of approach, And St. Louis is going to be trying to fill out that back end. That's real important to Jay. Getting some good transition, some points from there, and yeah, hopefully they can build some chemistry with some of the new players they've been taking.
Yeah, good puck handling and shooting accuracy, but not a lot of range, which is interesting. I assume they're probably going to change that before opening day. Spend some time in the gym, work on well, not in the gym, on the ice. In the gym would be strength. As the Great Falls Grizzlies, I believe, are currently up. Yes, the Grizzlies are up with pick 39. Their pick is in.
Give me 1 second.
And with. Oh,
Sorry.
cool.
It's going real fast.
Sorry. Nyom. I am speed, apparently.
Right, you're good.
All right, with the 39th pick, the Great Falls Grizzlies select Dave Richardson, user Fort0904, a first-gen, good getting open and puck handling.
Honestly, the name Dave Richardson, I feel like you went to genericwhitepersonname.generator.com, and this was the first name that came up.
So generic hockey, average hockey player name.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, Fort0904, heading over to the Great Falls Grizzlies. I think this is one of those recreates. One of the new gens that made today from the horde of individuals that came over with Mr. Recruiter Extraordinaire. But yeah, emphasis on getting open and puck handling, a little weakness on the physical aspects of the game. Good pivot for your, possibly your top two lines. Working that offensive end.
Yeah, not really. I feel like there's not really been a ton of like super physical forwards. Like you've got like one or two power forwards, and then everyone else is just finesse offense.
Well, I mean,
Once again, it's almost like people like to score goals.
with Rand, one of my deep dives I did was on the correlation between winning and amount of hits you have, and it was like everyone who was on the top hit leaders pretty much had an inverse correlation to their team's record. So
That
the more
makes
hits
sense.
they had, the more they sucked.
Absolutely makes sense because if you're hitting someone, you don't have the puck.
Yeah.
And if you
I think
don't have the
similar
puck,
with shots
you can't
blocked.
score goals.
Yeah, similar with shots blocked, takeaways. Like these are all things that, if you have the puck, don't occur.
Yeah, the advanced metrics and all that. And we do have a trade with this 40th pick, by the way. Which was originally owned by the Kelowna Knights, but is going to go across BC to Vancouver. And they will be getting a player in return, Cal Kono, coming over from the Whalers to the Knights in exchange for this pick. I think this is the first time in a minute I've seen like a draft day trade with a player actually like involved, and not like what we saw earlier where a guy got picked and then immediately got traded.
Yeah, Cal Kono is an S68. It's the user ESK. Looks like he hasn't been on since the end of January, but he's hitting about 377 TP, so he'll be a solid user for, what is it, one season now? This season, them to hold on to and go for a cup run.
Yeah, sometimes an inactive can play a pretty big role for you, like if they're in their twilight. And the pick is in for pick 40. So at the 40th pick, the Vancouver Whalers select Thomas Liebold, username Hungry Fella. First gen Hungy Fella, not hungry. I'm just inserting random letters in places. First gen, wow. The minute I say there's not a lot of words. Strengths, checking, hitting.
Yeah, again, a right winger, so surprising no one. But this is like a kind of a classic power forward build. It's got some points in screening, an emphasis on checking and hitting, just that physical, get in the corners, do the dirty work kind of player. I guess he's got that dog in him for sure. If you had to look at it, he's hungry for the game.
Yeah, he is. he's gonna grind it out, get pucks deep, etc. Insert every single cliche ever uttered by a hockey player in 90% of press conferences and interviews here. So time will tell if this proves to be a bold decision to take a Lee Bold, as the Scarecrows are on the clock now with pick number 41. A team that just traded a pick, but they are going to make this one. With the 41st pick, the St. Louis Scarecrow select Todd Bowers, username TB07.
Yeah, you want to talk about people who are amped up and excited. This is he's one of the he's from the South, I believe he's from Alabama. He's a Crimson fan. For all those college football fans not watching, but he was very excited about the draft coming up. Uh, put a lot of enthusiasm and energy in today, and they're gonna like what he's bringing into the St. Louis locker room. Love his energy and enjoy when you're getting a user who's talkative and active at pick 41. You just hope you can channel that energy into TP and you get a fantastic pick out of it.
Yeah, I assume this one got approved late.
That's why we don't have the what's it called, the info on him. So
Yeah, but that energy is always going to be good, especially for like a mid-round pick. That mid-round pick, like, yeah, on the surface it might be nothing, but it might also be like, a steal. So St. Louis is definitely hoping this will turn out to be an inspired choice, as the Carolina Kraken are back on the clock to finish round number 3. And I do believe they have a pick in. With pick number 42, the Carolina Kraken select Drew Surshot, username Draw4WC. So this dude must play a lot of Uno and just be an absolute menace.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing Uno, you definitely want someone on your team who's got all the draw 4 cards. And yeah, Seven strategized for Uno with this pick. But it's another defenseman who's again good at the offensive side of the puck, focused on puck handling, getting open. No points in screening, going against Jace's meta truly. No hitting even. He's not a physical defenseman, but yeah, we're seeing a lot of focus. Maybe a transition to a more modern game with the transition being emphasized and hitting kind of on a lower priority.
Can't hit what you can't catch. Or you can't hit what's about to just dangle you out of your skates and just end you that way. But yeah, they're hoping he is a sure shot to be earning well. As we go to pick number 43 and the Detroit Falcons. And the Detroit Falcons at pick number 43, they will be selecting Martin Cishar, username Great Slavia. Cishar? It looks Hungarian. And
I won't challenge your knowledge of the etymology of names. But yeah, I don't. I pick's not on the screen, so I can't talk about it.
Yeah, I assume this is another one that got approved just really late.
Things are happening, but yeah, probably one of those just created today. You take a risk on someone who's you can't have scouted because they're so new, but you hope you're getting something good out of it.
Yeah, and you can get like genuine gems from like these late, these people that create super super late in the cycle, and they can still turn out to be absolutely killer picks. So Detroit is hoping for that from Mr. Chishar. He can correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but this is my attempt and I am confident in it. On to pick number 44 with the Yukon Malamutes on the clock. Team that went forward and defenseman. So they got both positions sort of filled there. And with pick 44, the Yukon Malamute select Donnie Dangle, username JT2187. First gen, say it with me, everyone, right winger.
I think this might be like the bastard son of Steve Dangle. Recently came out to play hockey, but he's gotta prove his chops in the SMJHL first before he can be on his dad's podcast. Yeah,
Yeah, and he's not
Sorry, go ahead.
not a goaltender that has to tend the goal.
Yeah, it's another offensive right wing. Probably going to focus on dangling, if I had to guess.
Yeah, but he has the offensive read to do it and the shooting accuracy, place his shots. I'd assume he also has pretty relatively high getting open, because that's kind of the other thing you need to be doing the dangle thing. As we go to pick 45, which is the Van Whalers. And their pick is in. So with pick number 45, the Vancouver Whalers select Marco Zaich, username Leberb42.
I feel
First
like you're
gen.
loving this area we're in, where it's all these European names, and you get to shout these out. You're just loving your ability to flex on people here. I can feel it.
Yeah, this is like Croatia, Serbia, former Yugoslavia type name here.
You're enjoying this immensely.
Yeah, first gen.
Leberb, 42 coming in. It's an offensive right winger. Cut me off if you heard this before. But Shawnee fired, 15 offensive read, 13 getting open. Does not pass the puck ever, not even one time, and 5 in checking. So really just here to score some goals.
The Alexander Ovechkin strat of just shoot forever. So we go to the main timber again at pick 46. With their picks before, they've been filling out that defense. Also did get a forward and shooting blanks earlier, but pair of defenders in Mayhem and Van Nistelrooy. And with pick number 46, with pick 46, the main timber select Michael Adams, user Satoa.
Yeah, there's the cutoff of you getting your fancy names.
Yeah, from fancy name to just like
Dave
this
Smith,
is
Michael Adams.
This is a guy that played third line for the 2005 like, I don't know, Florida Panthers. Some random NHL team, just anonymous middle line guy. In terms of name, I assume this guy, I think, got approved like basically right as the like right before the draft started, because I see in the approved players channel, he was literally approved at 7:59 p.m. We started 8 o'clock. Left defenseman, I believe he is. But just got in at the buzzer.
Are we getting people approved during the draft? Is what I want to know. Like, are there?
I don't think I've
No.
seen any that got approved mid-draft.
No, they
This
cut it
one was
off.
just approved, like, right just in time.
No, yeah, they cut it off right as the draft started, so that anybody else would be basically onto waivers if the new one did create.
Cool. So on to pick number 47, which is being traded. We have a trade to announce. The Carolina Kraken will receive pick number 47 from the Colorado Raptors in exchange for Drew Surshot. Wow, I pronounced Zaich correctly, but not Surshot.
Surshot. Yes, Drew Surshot.
The memes write themselves. I can do like I could do like, these hardcore European names, and then I just trip over something that's like so easy because I'm talking too fast. So that's a pick that was just taken a few picks ago and is being rerouted for pick 47.
Yeah, I believe that pick is in as well, right?
Yes. So with that pick, the Carolina Kraken will be selecting. I have it open somewhere. Aaron Ranger, user Tex Ranger 28.
Yeah,
I bet he's from Texas.
You would be right. But he was a very active guy in the Discord. He was gone from like Friday to today, but he let everyone know he was leaving before. But he was really active before he left. So hoping it's not like a JoJo Larkin situation where he gets kidnapped and never comes back. But should be a really good pick for them. He was a real friendly guy. I think he's going to fit in well with Carolina. They've got some great people there, and Seven's always good at making people good.
Yeah, and it seems like he has a pretty balanced build when his weakness is a 9. So, he has a decent, he's got a decent balance about him. As we go on to pick number 48, which is owned by the Regina Elk. Which someone pinged me that I was mispronouncing Regina earlier. This is news to me. I know like the Latin word is pronounced differently, but like the city.
Which city?
Regina.
It's it's Regina. That's how the city is pronounced.
Yeah, but the Latin word is Regina, I believe.
Yes.
Anyway, with the
Latin's a dead
48th
language.
With the 48th pick, the Regina Elk select Thor Odinson, username M. Lobben. Physical sort of defenseman. Checking and hitting,
An
strengths.
aberration in this draft, absolutely. But yeah, you love to see some physicality coming in, having some defenders who can probably actually defend and not just score points. Always good to have some balance to the team.
Yeah, someone that can clear the front of the net so that other teams' defensemen can have clean shots or deflections. Make life easier for your goalie a little bit. But that is Regina's pick at number 48. And we move on to pick number 49, which is the Anchorage Armada. Getting to the business end of this draft. And with pick number 49, the Anchorage Armada select Theodore Lozon. Username Maths17. Minus points for the plural form of math.
I thought the plural form of math was mathy.
Because it's already mathematics. It's just literally into math. Get out of here. Other places that speak English that add an S to it for some unknown reason. I believe this one was also a very late approval, so I don't think we have a ton of info on him. As I take a double check. Yeah, he was pretty late. Yeah, he was just approved earlier this afternoon, so that is. And now Carolina has back-to-back picks at 50 and 51. The old chance to just
It'll be
go
their
on.
third picks of this round as well.
Yeah, we're loading up on fourth rounders. They could be. The more lottery tickets you buy, the better a chance you have at winning. Allegedly, I don't know.
I'm not an
I don't
expert
believe
on
the
draft
lottery.
picks, but
I'm not an expert on lotteries. So with pick number 50, they are selecting Extra Magic, username Extra Magic. Another late approval.
let me guess. Right winger who
Yes.
is offensive focused.
I don't have his attributes in front of me, but I can confirm he is in fact a right winger. He is
Wow.
also 6'9" and 210, so he's like a toothpick.
Yeah, that's way too skinny. Like, I don't know. I feel like he should be
Can
bigger.
we? This dude needs to like start eating more and
Hold up.
like
So
going to the gym.
what's the player name?
Extra magic.
Prospects. Oh, so again, like a last minute ad. Was approved 3 hours ago. 6'9", 210. 15 shooting accuracy, 12 shooting range. Just has an absolute bomb of a shot from the outside. Getting open 15 as well. So kind of a perimeter shooter with 11 passing. Pure offense focus, but somehow 12 shot blocking. Also 5 in speed, 5 in balance, 5 in agility, and 5 in acceleration.
What does he think he is, Nick Antropov?
Yeah, it's John Scott actually.
Michigan Tech legend.
These might be John Scott's measurements, but I feel like John Scott would weigh more.
John Scott is not 210 pounds.
Yeah. It's just the big guy can't skate. Good shot though.
Tall guy who does tall guy things because he's tall, and he also has like an absolute missile. And with pick 51, which is also the Carolina Kraken, they're taking Bryce Mitchell, username Prince Rules. First gen left winger this time. Still offense oriented. I don't really have much to add there, but
What's the
good
I think it's
passing and
another one of
pucking.
those recent creates. A lot of these we're getting a run on people who just created at the last second. So there's not a lot of available information on them. But
Yeah.
you're taking shots on people who created, and part of it's like, maybe you're just picking names you like more than others, but you just gotta check their activity. Maybe you've had a little bit of contact with them, and you roll with it.
Yep. As we move on to pick number 52 with the Newfoundland Berserkers. And with pick 52, they are selecting Paul Matz, username Paul Matz14.
Yeah, it's
right
a first
winger.
gen right winger who's offensive focused. Again, another
Randomly good shot blocking. He's shot blocking of 12 according to the card. So I guess maybe a guy you could probably throw on the PK because he can just get in the lane. You can't see me shrugging, but I'm shrugging. And that will put the Great Falls Grizzlies up in the order. And with their 53rd pick, the Great Falls Grizzlies select Bryson Basham, user Hoppy75. Recreate physical defenseman. Recreated at the deadline and was not particularly happy about not getting signed as a DFA. So that's a thing.
Yeah. Sometimes there's players who don't necessarily they try to recreate, but they recreate at the wrong time. It's a little too late or something. Approval takes out, and there's they take it different ways. But with the name Basham, kind of like Terrell Basham of the NFL, you're a physically focused individual, and you're going out there to hit people.
Or Aaron Asham, the former NHL player, who I think played for like the entire Atlantic Division. I think I remember that being a thing at the time. I don't know. As we move to pick number 54, which I believe has been traded. Yes, pick number 54 is on the move to the Scarecrows. So team that previously traded pick 38, coming back and trading for pick number 54 and sending a 4th round pick in season 72.
It is ironic that the Scarecrows are now sandwiching 2 Falcon picks. Because they have picks 57 and 54, while Detroit is 55 and 56. So they're just really trying to let those birds know that you should be scared.
Get out of here. Midwestern birds versus Midwestern scarecrows.
I got to take the Scarecrows in that fight, They're just They have the intimidation factor.
I don't know. Falcons can be pretty intense, especially because they're fast. And with the 54th pick, the Scarecrows will be selecting Will Nason, username Willie8797. Center, playmaking center from the looks of things. Passing, puck handling, but overall pretty balanced looking if his weaknesses are only 9s.
Yeah, again, a lot of these are real new recreates, so new creates, so it's hard to get a good judge on them. But the user Willie, insert numbers here. It's the combination on my luggage, by the way. Heading over to the Scarecrows. Offensive minded, that playmaking pivot you want in the center of the ice. That it's got the potential to be a real great build.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was another one of those late. Doesn't actually look like he was one of the ones approved today. So he was approved yesterday or 2 days ago. I can't count. Before the last 24 hours. So the Detroit Falcons have back-to-back picks here, starting with pick number 55, with which they are selecting Ryan DeSharkey, username Sharky69. I think he likes sharks.
I'm gonna guess that it's probably related to sharks. Or the real question is this a juke multi? We do have to ask the question. The number 69 does lend a little credence to my thoughts here, because it's definitely a juke move, but sharks or juke multi, if you're still listening, you can vote on it. But yeah, heading over to
Vote with your
Detroit.
phones.
Yeah. Text $5 codes to 6969.
Another one that I think was just approved really late. A lot of these guys were approved really late, so we don't have a whole lot of information available. Which you can, they were just late. So onwards to the second Falcons pick. Because remember, they back to back. And with pick 56, the Detroit Falcons select Chris Ray Tiago, username That One Panda.
There's not that many pandas left, so it's good to specify. You can get pretty specific and specify which one. But yeah, pandas are adorable, so you gotta get them when they're available.
Yeah, you can never say no to a panda. Always just panda to a GM. Haha, very funny. So that is a another late pick for the Falcons. I believe another guy he was approved like that's about an hour and a half if I'm looking at the timestamp correctly before the draft. So they're kind of shooting from the hip there. As the Scarecrows are up again with pick 57. And with pick 57, the St. Louis Scarecrows will be selecting Francois Bercier, username FRA433. If his username includes FRA and his name is Francois Bercier, he's probably French.
It's a good bet. Knowing the league, I'm going to guess French Canadian because
probably
a lot of French Canadians here. But yeah, the username
speed
gives no indication of anything whatsoever. FRA433. But yeah, speed, acceleration, agility. Actually, we don't know if speed. We know acceleration, agility, but we can assume speed. Got those physicals going down.
Yeah, weaknesses in screening and getting open, which is interesting with getting open. Like screening for like a speedy forward. Okay, fine. Getting open though? You can't see me squinting, but I'm squinting. So that is the Scarecrow's pick. And on to pick 58, which is the Yukon Malamutes. I keep wanting to call them Huskies, but that's the wrong Yukon. It's not even spelled the same, but
It's
they're
the
both
Yukon
dogs.
Nashes. It's they're the Nashes. We can just admit it.
And with the 58th pick, they are going to be selecting Matthias Rice, username Scott. It's funny having like a very clearly European name, and then like the username is Scott. I believe this one was also approved super late.
It is Scott, so we do have to.
Oh, I missed some extra T's.
Yeah, but yeah, Matthias Reese heading over to the Yuck, Yukon Malamutes at pick 58.
And on to pick 59, which is the Vancouver Whalers. I do believe, if I can find the right. I am all over the place.
Yeah, 59 is Vancouver.
All right. And with pick number 59, the Whalers select Larry Johnson III. Username, Larry Johnson III. Again, seems to be a guy that created pretty late, so not a whole lot of info. And pick 60 has been passed, I do believe. Pick 60 is yeah, Regina is done. Regina's done. Regina has passed.
Yeah,
So,
pick 60 is it's deep, but we're getting to the point where
everyone's shooting from the hip.
pass. Yeah.
And with pick 61, the Colorado Raptors select Nate SJK, username Nate HH.
Yep. Colorado
right.
getting the pick there.
And we are sort of in speed mode. Pick 62, the Nevada Battleborn, will be selecting Alex Crosswell, also username Alex Crosswell. I do believe that is going to be their final pick. No, well, they haven't announced they were passing yet. So, pick 63, the Anchorage Auto will be selecting Peter Lasma, username Plasma. That's pretty clever. P Lasma, Plasma. And that will be Anchorage's final pick. They have decided to pass for the rest of the draft.
Yep.
Pick 64, the Carolina Kraken select Apollo Pede, username Apollo Pede.
That's just that's a bad joke. It's
like Apollo Creed, but like
Pede.
Yeah. With pick 65, Quebec City selects Lionel Messi, username Messi is the GOAT.
I think he's a
Congrats
Ronaldo
to your username on being right.
Pretty sure they're a Ronaldo fan.
Pick 66. Newfoundland is done. Newfoundland is done. They will be passing pick 66. And onward to pick 67. With which the Great Falls Grizzlies will be selecting Michael Cordero, username God Johnson.
That's a reference from Jane the Virgin. That was the male romance lead.
That would have gone over my head if you didn't point it out. So, shout out. And I believe, are they done? No, they've not announced that they are done.
If you're still
with
picking, you're a bad person and making Corey Mrs. Wife. So.
With pick 68, the Kelowna Knights select Morgan Delfield, username Now I'm Arby. So, the Kelowna Knights have the meats because they have Arby. And we have a nice pick for pick 69. In the ultimate Chad move, the main timber select Chad Chadwick with pick 69. Username Con Willer. Taking a Chad at pick 69.
Yeah, I mean it's a good good pick for pick 69, and you got to make pick 69 every draft. So nice.
Yep, and Maine is done. They have finished their draft. Pick 70, the Detroit Falcons will be selecting Drew Meyer, username DSMeyer555. Insert stereotypical phone number after the 555 here. And that will be their final pick. They are done as well.
This is unrelated, but I actually knew a guy named Chadwick, and he was an absolute Chad. He was a parachuting instructor. He's just absolutely ripped. Unrelated, but that'll bring St. Louis on the clock.
And St. Louis will be selecting Dean Vitreska, username Dean_V34. And that will be their final pick as well. That puts UConn on the board. And they will be taking Royal Pizza, username TuaStan6504. What entails a Royal Pizza? I don't know.
It's like a quarter pounder cheese from McDonald's. It's a Royale with cheese. It's just a pizza in France.
And that is also UConn's final pick. They are done. Who's not done is pick 73, which is the Whalers. They will be selecting Nate Gray, username NateGray9. And I believe the next two picks are both passes. Yeah, Regina and Colorado are both done. Blech. And with pick number 76, it is the Nevada Battleborn. And they will be selecting Joe Bam Farf. Username Jzart. Joe Bam with M, that is. And we're also going to be skipping pick 77, which is the Armada. I don't think Carolina has officially announced if they're done yet, so they are still on the clock. Yeah, you do not have a pick in from Carolina yet, or a pass. So 7's probably cooking something up.
Again, 7, you are being a bad person and making Corey miss his wife.
Up picks in. With pick number 78, the Carolina Kraken select Aussie Chambers, username Oz_Chambers. That's with a Z, not an S. And I believe only them and QC haven't announced if they're done or not. QC is passing.
Okay, they were just trying to find someone because they had so few picks.
Yeah, QC is done. So, and Detroit is done. So, I think Carolina is the only team that hasn't passed yet. Or hasn't officially announced that they're done. So we'll see if they use the pick or they're just done. Oh, Great Falls. Great Falls, I think, is still available. I think it's just Great Falls and Vancouver and Carolina. And Great Falls is selecting Aaron Mahone, username TB Lightning86.
Probably a Lightning fan.
Big if true. I wonder how. I don't know. Probably a Lightning fan. 86 is Kucherov, right? Kucherov?
I believe so. Yeah, I think it's Kucherov.
Yeah. So, an enthusiast of very good hockey players. And Vancouver is on the clock if they don't pass. I think. Yeah. Because I don't think I've seen Vancouver be done. Not a whole lot to say at this stage of the draft because not a whole lot left. Teams are passing. Maybe they want to take, if they want to take a chance on these people, maybe try waivers, once you've had more time to analyze.
Yeah, I mean, you can throw a bunch of darts at the board, but you only have so many roster spots.
Mm-hmm. Did Vancouver announce that they're done? They didn't.
Apparently, there are only 2 eligible prospects left, regardless.
Counting was never my area of expertise.
That's what someone was saying. So what, 87's on the clock? It's Vancouver and nothing.
Is it Vancouver? I keep saying, is it Vancouver? Because, they're the ones that are next up. But I don't think they've actually, they haven't said they're done. But doesn't appear as though they're aware they're on the clock? I don't know.
They've been pinged
Listen,
a couple times.
Fair enough. Do not mind me spitballing. Because I'm just a messenger.
You're good. Yeah, someone mentioned 2 or 3 even prospects left on the board.
Yeah, Brickwall was saying there's 2 left, or 3. 3 on another sheet.
Vancouver has passed.
Yeah, the Vancouver Stallers will pass the pick.
Yeah, they have decided to harpoon this draft. So Carolina and Great Falls are the only teams that have not yet said they're done. So Carolina is currently on the clock. I think they're actually making this pick. Yes, they select James Supercard, username Izer. That's I, like in the thing you see out of ZER.
It's like a laser out of your eyeball, kind of like the superhero.
And Great Falls is now up because they haven't passed yet. So we await if they're going to pass or if they're going to use the pick. Where's some elevator music when you need it? Oh, pick. They've made the pick. The Great Falls Grizzlies select Michael Doucette. Username TH Lang ILA.
Langilla.
Yeah, something like that. And Great Falls is done.
All right, so it's just Carolina now.
Yep, and they've selected Drew Bryant, username Blackhawks fan. I think he likes the Chicago hockey team.
No, doubt it.
The heck? He's pinging me.
I think he likes black mohawks.
He likes birds. And I believe that's actually the last. Either Carolina, is that the last prospect even eligible?
Might be one more, but yeah. We're digging deep. We're
digging deep, getting pucks to the net, etc. Yeah. Insert other buzzwords. I've done this 5 times. And they haven't said if they're passing or not.
Seven's making me late for dinner. I can't believe this. Shaking my head.
Just a bad person doing this to Corey.
So there might have actually been difficulty with that pick. Or with the Blackhawks fan pick. So that might not be happening. I think that's it. I don't know. I'm confused.
We have a trade to announce. We've traded all knowledge for what's happening for ending this draft.
Oh, Carolina's just passing. We're done. We're finally done.
All right.
Well,
Thanks to Corey
thank you,
and
guys.
Bailey for running the back. And congrats on all getting drafted.
Yeah, and if you stuck it with us, thank you for tuning in. We will see you next event.
On the calendar. Everything's on the calendar. Check the calendar.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.